WIN calls for restoration of candidates' accounts. Following OFAC correspondence. The We Invest in Nationhood, WIN party is urging commercial banks to restore the accounts of its candidates after receiving clarification from the U.S. Treasury Department's Office of Foreign Assets Control, OFAC. This appeal comes in light of sanctions imposed in 2024 against Azruddin Mohammed, the party's presidential candidate, along with Nazar Mohammed and Government Permanent Secretary May Thomas. In a recent communication to WIN's attorneys, OFAC clarified that the implications of transacting with a political party led by a sanctioned individual depend on whether that individual is involved in the transaction. They emphasized that U.S. financial institutions would not violate sanctions simply by maintaining accounts for or processing transactions involving non-sanctioned members of the organization. The correspondence also highlighted that transactions with sanctioned individuals are generally prohibited unless exempted by a specific license from OFAC. However, non-sanctioned members of WIN are not subject to these restrictions, provided the sanctioned individual does not have an interest in the accounts or transactions. Hannah Mohammed, a member of the WIN party, expressed on social media that the recent OFAC guidance underscores that sanctions against Azruddin Mohammed do not extend to other party officials. She characterized the account closures as political victimization rather than compliance with U.S. law, asserting that banks acted unlawfully by targeting non-sanctioned candidates. In the past month, at least 3 commercial banks have closed accounts belonging to individuals listed as candidates for WIN. Affected candidates reported being informed by at least one bank that these closures were linked to internal policies, citing the 2024 sanctions against Azruddin Mohammed. The WIN party is now calling for immediate action from financial institutions to rectify what they view as unjust account closures, urging banks to align their practices with OFAC's official guidance. Reject force-ripe leaders. Former NTC chairman urges Region 9 residents. Former National Tasheo Council Chairman Joel Fredericks urged Region 9 residents to reject force-ripe leaders who spread lies. Speaking at a PPP/C rally in Lethem, he emphasized the importance of experienced leadership, praising the ruling party for its progress. Fredericks warned against impulsive politicians, stating, "You don't wake up one morning and decide to run a country." He encouraged residents to make informed choices on September 1st, prioritizing leaders with vision and stability. He also advised the community to change their mindset and invest in businesses for a better future. Announcements by President Irfan Ali. Because We Care grant increased to $100,000. New transportation grant announced. President Dr. Irfan Ali announced at a PPP/C rally in Lethem that the Because We Care cash grant for school children will rise to $100,000. Additionally, a new annual transportation grant of $100,000 will be introduced. This means each child will receive a total of $200,000 annually, with the potential for further increases, contingent on the party's re-election in the September 1st general and regional elections. Public assistance to increase to $40,000 monthly. President Dr. Irfan Ali announced at a PPP/C rally in Lethem that public assistance for vulnerable citizens will rise to a minimum of $40,000 if the party is re-elected on September 1st, 2025. This increase will require an additional $19 billion annually, up from the current assistance of $22,000. Old age pension set to increase to $60,000. New transportation support announced. President Dr. Irfan Ali announced at a PPP/C rally in Lethem that the old age pension will rise to a minimum of $60,000 if the party is re-elected. This increase will require an additional $65 billion annually for Guyana's elderly, up from the current pension of $41,000, which was raised from $36,000 earlier this year. Additionally, each pensioner will receive $50,000 to assist with transportation needs. Tragic accident claims 3 lives in Rupununi. A devastating accident occurred today in Parara, just outside Lethem, resulting in the deaths of 3 individuals, including a young child. Reports indicate that a motorcycle, carrying a male, female, and their child, collided with a minibus. The victims have been identified as Jagnarine Stephen, a resident of Yakaranta village, and his wife, Kira, who hailed from Shea in the South Rupununi. The couple, who celebrated their marriage just 2 years ago, were traveling with their young daughter, Laurel, when the fatal incident took place in the mid-morning. Local authorities are investigating the circumstances surrounding the collision, while the community mourns the loss of this young family. Tributes have begun to pour in for the couple and their child, highlighting the profound impact of this tragic event on their loved ones and the wider community. PPP Civic to launch election manifesto on Monday. The People's Progressive Party, PPP, will launch its election manifesto on Monday, as announced by General Secretary Barrett Jagdeo. 3 weeks ago, the party conducted consultations to gather input from various sectors. At a recent press conference, Jagdeo stated that while many plans have already been shared, the formal presentation will outline their 5-year strategy for 2025 to 2030. He emphasized that the new plan will build on past policies, highlighting their commitment to delivering on promises despite challenges like COVID-19. The presentation will detail the government's macroeconomic policy, which Jagdeo described as sensible and sustainable. The party continues to seek public input on initiatives for the manifesto, with a focus on implementing feasible ideas. Nazar Mohammed sidesteps question on Venezuelan embassy visit, Jagdeo. Nazar Mohammed, a U.S.-sanctioned businessman, has avoided directly answering whether he visited the Venezuelan embassy in Georgetown, instead accusing the People's Progressive Party/Civic, PPP/C, of orchestrating a smear campaign against his son, Azruddin Mohammed. PPP General Secretary Barrett Jagdeo noted that Nazar did not confirm or deny the visit, opting to deflect the question by focusing on alleged political tactics against his son and the We Invest in Nationhood, WIN party. Last week, Guyana's Foreign Affairs Minister, Hugh Todd, stated that the Venezuelan ambassador confirmed the Mohammed's visit and visa application. Jagdeo added that there is video evidence of the visit, highlighting the need for clarity regarding the family's ties to the Venezuelan government. Job opportunities. Azruddin, along with his father and their businesses, was sanctioned by the U.S. last year for alleged connections to the Maduro regime. The backdrop of these allegations occurs amidst ongoing border disputes between Guyana and Venezuela, currently under consideration by the International Court of Justice. Flags don't win elections. People do. Hannah Mohammed. Hannah Mohammed, representative of the We Invest in Nationhood, WIN party, condemned the vandalism of the party's flags, stating that such actions will not deter their campaign. She emphasized that flags are symbols of beliefs and freedom, not the key to winning elections. Mohammed expressed outrage over the destruction of WIN flags and the harassment of supporters, including incidents where party members were intimidated by police. She described these actions as a violation of democratic rights. Despite the vandalism, she urged those responsible to stop and affirmed that every citizen has the right to participate in the political process without fear. Mohammed made it clear that on September 1st, Guyanese will choose their leader, and their support for WIN continues to grow. Job opportunities. Guyana has moved from promise to progress under the PPP/C, Region 9 Chairman. Regional Chairman Brian Allicock highlighted the PPP/C government's accomplishments in Region 9 at a rally in Lethem, stating that Guyana has transformed from promise to progress under President Irfan Ali. He noted significant developments, including the construction of 9 new secondary schools and 4 hospitals, with telemedicine services for remote areas. Allicock emphasized the importance of the Linden to Mabura Highway project, which aims to connect Georgetown to Lethem and Brazil. He also mentioned ongoing work on a 72-mile road linking North Rupununi to Monkey Mountain, which will improve transportation for over 15,000 residents. Allicock asserted that under President Ali, there are more jobs, better infrastructure, and a focus on food security. He urged attendees to vote for the PPP/C on September 1st, stressing that the party has delivered on its promises and is committed to securing a better future for all Guyanese. We are a serious government, PM Phillips assures Region 9 residents. Prime Minister Brigadier, Reddit, Mark Phillips assured Region 9 residents that the government will keep its promises, including cheaper electricity and improved infrastructure. Speaking at a PPP/C rally in Lethem, he emphasized the party's commitment to the community and its achievements, such as the construction of 45 new bridges and the commissioning of 2 mini hydro projects for reliable electricity. Phillips, returning as the PPP/C's prime ministerial candidate, stated, "We are a serious government, ready to do it for 5 more years." He highlighted the ongoing upgrades to the Linden to Lethem corridor, reinforcing the party's track record of delivering on promises.